Hey guys, we're going to be looking at the most underrated champions for solo queue. Remember, these are going to be my opinion, but these are the champions that aren't being played very much and I still think are really good. So first up on this list is going to be Malphite in the top lane. And let me ask you a question, okay? Have you ever punched a rock and how did it go for you? Because for me, it didn't go very well, and the same kind of philosophy can be applied to Malphite in game. So he is like the biggest anti-carry, right? He has an attack speed slow, he's got a huge amount of armor and still pretty good damage as well. So the meta right now is kind of shifting. It's more like switching to these carry top laners, right? Like Aurelia, Riven, and Malphite will always come back against these picks because he is so good against them. One of the biggest reasons he's so good against them is because his damage scales with armor. Like even his W increases your armor by a percentage even more. So you build full tank and you still do so much damage. That makes you really hard to deal with, not just in lane, but in the entire game. Like you're going to be building defense, right, to counter your opponent, but you're also going to be doing more damage while you do it. It's just crazy. So mid game is definitely where he becomes unstoppable. Like he has that damage, he has a ton of armor, and he just can't be killed, but he kills you. It's really fun actually, well, for the Malphite player, not for anyone else. So that's just one side of him. Like the other side of him is he's really good at engaging, he's good at roaming, his TP ganks are fantastic too, which can affect the entire map and the entire game. So team fights in general, right, they're kind of decided by two things, like who engages first and then often who gets the first kill, and with a Malphite ult you're going to be doing both of them so much easier. Okay, so moving on to the jungle, and we're going to look at Pantheon. And I'm not telling you to play this guy every single game, but in some situations, he is really underrated and really good. So what does he do? Well, he has pretty good clear, like he has amazing damage, great ganks, he can block autos with his shield, and a huge range ultimate. Pantheon was actually popular a while ago, and that was just before the meta kind of shifted into these tanks, and he struggles against tanks, so that's kind of why he fell out of favor. Now we're moving back to these carry damage junglers like Nidalee, Lee Sin, those kind of people. Those are the guys that Pantheon is really good against. So another thing is it's really easy to have a big impact on him. Like, you know, we said before a couple of videos ago actually about training yourself to have an impact, right? Well, you pick a big cooldown and every time it's up you use it, and that way you're making sure that you're always having an impact in the game. Well, this doesn't fit much better than with Pantheon. Like every time it's up and a lane is pushing, you ult behind them and bam, you get a kill. Kind of the same idea is that he's also one of the best bot lane gankers. Like bot lanes tend to push a lot, it's a really long lane and you can easily ult behind them and cut off their escape. We already kind of mentioned his damage, but that damage is a crazy amount, and this is a really big thing for him. So if you don't have much health, like you are a Nidalee or you're a Lee Sin for example, then he will ruin you. Like he's going to do a ton of burst damage and he can chase you down as well. Another change that kind of helped him as well recently was the new Black Cleaver. Like you can apply that with your E really quickly, and yes, he's not going to be the best late game carry, but early to mid game he is one of the highest pressure and highest damage junglers you can play. Okay, so moving on to mid lane, and you guys better love this. In my last top 5 video for mid, you guys were like, hey, this is just the top 5 AP mid laners. Where's the AD? Well, here you go. Here's the AD guy. So Talon has actually had a really high win rate for a while now, but he's just kind of flying under the radar. He's actually got good wave clear, which is rare for an assassin. He obviously has great damage, a ton of kill potential in lane, and he loves to play against these like low health mages that everyone is playing right now. I guess honestly, like one of the biggest things is that he's just so good at roaming. Like even though you'll probably kill your opponent in lane, that's not why you pick him. Like you pick him to roam around the map and kill people in other lanes. The things that make him so good at roaming is he can push his lane really fast and then roam after that. When he actually gets to that lane, he has a gap closer, he has his ultimate, which you can also use as a gap closer, and a huge amount of damage in a very short space of time. Honestly, like there isn't really too much to say about Tan. Like, okay, if I gave you a wooden spoon, right, it only has one job, to stir things. Well, I guess you kind of could put it places you shouldn't, but you should only stir things, and it stirs things really well. So it's the same with Talon. Like he isn't overly complicated, he has a very simple job, which is just to roam and kill people, but he does that job so well. That is why he's here. So let's move on to the AD, and I actually don't think there's really an AD carry who is truly underrated, but I think Draven is as close as we're going to get. Like a lot of you know that he does a stupid amount of damage, but he's just hard to play. I guess underplayed would be a better word for him, but this guy is in a really good spot right now and definitely should be played more. He's actually one of the few champions who can build Bloodthirster first, which is better in lane and early mid game as well. It gives you a huge amount of AD, lifesteal, the shield. It's just going to be overall a little bit better for these early fights. So more AD means his axes hit harder, and also the harder the axes hit, the more lifesteal you're going to get back, which is really good on Draven. So getting the Bloodthirster first is kind of a reason for this, but Draven is one of the few AD carries who does okay against assassins. Like sure, assassins are always a pain in the ass for ADs, but Draven can do a ton of damage very quickly and has huge lifesteal with his axe spinning. Aside from his damage, his lifesteal, like his kit stuff, the meta right now is shifting to exactly where Draven wants it to be. So right now games are more mid-game focused, right? The lane phase, nothing really much happens, and then you kind of group and you start vigorously slapping each other until one team gets ahead. Now Draven only really needs one item to start really hurting, and his passive means that if you do manage to get a kill, then you will get that item a lot quicker than other AD carries. I know this is kind of true for every champion, right? But it's even more so for this guy. The more you play him, the more games you spent practicing him, the drastically higher your win rate is going to be. Like, he has one of the biggest differences in win rate from when you first start playing him to when you have over 100 games with him. So last up is support, and unless your name is KP, then you probably think of Brand as this kind of trolly, useless champion, and that's kind of sad because he's actually really good. He does loads of damage, he has a stun, he has huge AoE damage in team fights, a good lane phase, and a good team fight as well. Now he's always kind of been this underrated support. He's been okay, he has good damage, and he has some utility as well, but the reason I think he's even more underrated now is because of the new AP items. So the combination of Rylai's and Liandry's is actually disgusting. Like, they do so much damage now, they have a ton of AP, your spells are going to slow, the pen as well is really good on Bran because he has high base damage. So that's just the damage side of things, right? Then you have the Liandry's burn and your passive burn, like the two of them together, they do stack and it is horrible. You add in a Ludens to that combination and your passive burn ticks can actually proc the Ludens as well. So you burn someone, they run away and the Ludens is still going to proc onto them. He is one of the best carry supports right now. He can do a lot of damage in lane and he can zone the enemy AD carry, and then he can transition into a huge mid game. The kind of stupid and funny thing is that with this build you're going to be pretty tanky, and it's also not uncommon for you to top the damage graph even as a support. Well, that wraps up the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed the most underrated picks here and my reasoning for it. Like, I kind of stayed away from what the champions are good at and just why they are good right now. As always, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you like it, and I'll catch you in my next video.